Ben, you kind of focused on, like, the bad things and, like, trying to avoid getting big. I tried to stay in the spirit of the game. The spirit of the game is you're trying to get as big as possible, as fast as you can. So I wanted to see how you do this, and basically if you get, like, the biggest in the world, you win, right? So I wanted to see how to become the winner. So to do this, first, if you start inside, your first instinct will be to go as fast as possible, but you gotta be really careful about this, because you could very easily get stuck indoors.
Ooh, yeah, doorways.
So if you get bigger than a doorway, then you're basically just stuck inside and you're trapped.
Game over.
So I guess you actually have to get outside really quickly, huh?
Yeah, so the first step is to get outside and be very careful about what you touch, because you don't want to really touch anything while you're inside. And then once you're outside, you just have to stay outside forever. And then step 2 was finding a place where you could grow fast. And I thought the best place to do this would be at, like, your local dump. Because the dump, they have a lot of, like, small things, but they're all gathered in one area.
Right.
So you can just, like, roll in the garbage and collect it super fast.
Chris, why do you find a way to make your life absolutely the worst with every single one of these questions? Like,
I'm not looking at the quality of my life. I'm trying to win this game of Katamari. I'm trying to be the biggest.
What I'm seeing in my mind is the big pile to the dump where people bring like broken up concrete and it's like rolling around in that.
The thing is, like, not only you're starting with garbage, so your innermost layer is always going to be a small cube of garbage that you are just perpetually stuck in.
Much like my real life.
Aww. So the moment I determined that the dump was the easiest or the best place to go, I kind of figured that I don't really have a chance of winning because I live in the city and there's no dump close to me. And there's, like, a ton of other competition in the city. So instead of trying to win myself, I tried to figure out who would win. So I looked up a list of the top 10 landfills in the world, because a landfill is just like a giant dump.
Man, that's an exciting Google search. Come on, BuzzFeed, give me the top 10 landfills I wouldn't believe.
So number 1 is in Las Vegas. It's the Apex Regional Landfill. It has 22 acres, or 2,200 acres.
The fact that the biggest landfill in the world, right?
Yeah, in the world.
Is in Las Vegas is somehow not at all surprising to me.
Are you sure it's not just the name of Las Vegas is officially Apex?
And just a fun fact about this landfill is it's responsible for 17.7% of the nation's methane emissions.
Jesus.
Yeah, just this one landfill.
That's more than all the termites put together, which we talked about a few episodes back.
Number 2 is in Mexico, which is 927 acres, which is like less than half of Las Vegas, which is like crazy. There's such a big difference. And then number 3 is actually in Shanghai, China, and that's 830 acres. And even though this is like way less than the 2,200, they're separated by a giant ocean. So number 3 and number 1, they're kind of gonna like operate on their own. They're not going to interfere with each other. So I was thinking the one in Las Vegas is going to be the winner of the West. The one in Shanghai is going to be the winner of the East. And you're going to have an East versus West battle of landfills.
It's the Katamari playoffs.
Yeah.
The two conferences.
The top 3. My bracket has played out. I picked, well, Chris was my loss in the top 4. But...
So I wanted to figure out which one of these would win. And just going off the landfills, the West would win because obviously they have the number 1 landfill. They also have the number 2 and number 5 landfill. The East has number 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which is a lot on that list, but it's still, the West is still edging out by like 1,000 acres. So Las Vegas is still winning based on that. The next factor I looked at was the amount of people, because the amount of people is directly correlated to, like, obviously the people are going to be in the ball of stuff.
Yeah, it's just people equal stuff. We make all the stuff.
Yeah, more people has more stuff. So I looked at the Western population. So North America plus South America has 1.04 billion people.
Oh, the East is going to crush us.
Yeah, the East includes Asia, Europe, and Africa, and that has 6.42 billion.
It was a close fight, but
not really. So clearly the East destroys us in the amount of people. So if you weight these evenly, it's 1-to-1. I don't know if you'd weigh them evenly, probably not. But the third factor I looked at was the amount of trees in the East and West. Because just imagine like rolling in a forest. You're going to pick up a lot of trees and grow really fast.
Yeah, if a ball rolls in the forest, well, there's a much bigger ball with lots of trees in it. I think that's the saying, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Sure, we can make it a saying. So the West, in North America and South America, there are 1.25 trillion trees, which is a decent amount. And in the East, just in Russia alone, they have 641 billion. Yeah, that's just Russia. In total, the East has 1.55 trillion. So the East wins again.
Yeah, there's a lot more East than there is West.
There's a lot more Russia than everything else. So just based on these numbers, I think the landfill in Shanghai would win. They would be the winner of KATAMARI.
The question is, who in Shanghai would... I'm just going to look up the most athletic person in Shanghai.
Well, it'll just be whoever's closest to the landfill, right?
Yeah.
When it starts. So someone working at the landfill, probably.
It'll probably be kind of unintentional for them. They just
They trip into the landfill accidentally.
and then suddenly have, 80,000 pounds of garbage on them.